This is a Canadian National Dash 8 narrow nose diesel from MTH. So this engine is out of their Premiere Catalog, Volume 1, 2020. The part number on it is 20-21280-1. Part of their 2020 catalog. As I mentioned, I got it pre-ordered back in October of 2019, and it just showed up this week. So back in October of 2019, I ended up pre-ordering this through Legacy Station. So in typical MTH fashion, it doesn't always show up when you expect it to or want it to, but here we are well over a year later, and it's here in the fleet. So it did come in, as I mentioned, this week, and I was excited to see it. I'm a big fan of the Dash 8 engines. I love the narrow nose. I think it's just a unique looking engine. Still see it on the rails today. I know that's becoming a little bit limited, but we do see them out there, and this engine definitely does not disappoint. I'm glad I brought it into the roster. Mth Premiere Detail, so it's everything that we kind of expect in regards to the separately applied details, the wiper blades on the window. We have opening doors front and rear, one here that you see open, and then one on the opposite side up front. The sand bin caps and the handrails and all that nice detail. You've got the treaded walkway on the deck, the AC unit up top of the cab, all of the metal screens, and then of course the smoke unit and the horns up top. This engine does have ditch lights front and rear, LED lighting throughout, Rule 17 prototypical lighting. And the nice thing on this that I really enjoy is the fact that the lighted number boards and the headlight do not bleed through into the cab if you happen to have the light in the cab off and the number board and the headlight on. I look for that. I think that's probably more their new tooling that they've used. Some of the older tooling, you could have the light off in the cab and the headlight on, and it still looks like the light is on in the cab. So I'm not a big fan of that, but I was excited to see the fact that there is no bleed through with the LEDs on this model. Another thing I like to see is that all of these switch controls are done underneath this rear hatch here. So you've got your volume control knobs for your smoke unit and your sound, and then you've got your DCS and DCC switch, as well as your 2-rail or 3-rail. So this is a model that can operate in 2-rail or 3-rail if you choose, but all the controls are done underneath the hood there that I like to see, and makes it a lot easier if you're going to do any of those switches, or if you need to adjust the volume, it's done right there up at top. Proto Sound 3.0, we've got the Proto couplers front and rear, and the engine itself, it sounds great. It's got a nice horn, it's got a nice bell. I'm pretty happy overall with this engine and its performance. And we'll get this fired up for you here in a minute so you can hear it, and then we'll get it on the layout for some quick running. So once I had this pre-ordered, I decided maybe I'd bring in another engine, and I did bring in a Norfolk Southern narrow nose Dash 8 as well. These two are really pretty identical in every way. There are some details that I believe are more associated with Norfolk Southern, and are a little bit different between these two engines here. One being, you see the little antenna behind the AC unit there, where the CN does not have that. And then on the back, you've got different locations for the sand cap in the back here, as opposed to the sand cap down lower there. The lighted number boards do not exist on the CN for the rear, but they do for the Norfolk Southern, and those are illuminated there. But the detail on these engines are pretty identical in regards to everything else. The doors, horns are a little bit different on this engine as well. Still got all the controls in the back there, the dual flywheel motors. And overall, just pretty sharp engine. Get up front here, there's the other door that opens.